controlled by Syrian Free Army or controlled by the Jabhat al-Nusra or ISIS, they will be taken as refugees and hostages. They will be taken as they will be kidnapped or taken as hostages.
Since you live in Aleppo, you became a witness of crucifixions of Christians who showed images,
yes.
horrible images in your lecture. Can you tell us more about these cases?
Because especially the ISIS on the top of the list and the Jabhat al-Nusra, the Free Syrian Army, they are not so aggressive as Islamic group like the ISIS and Jabhat al-Nusra. They not only, first of all, they will kidnap the person and take him as a hostage. And they contact the relatives to pay money for them, just to relieve. It used to be in few hundreds of dollars, went to a few thousands, now it is reaching to 60 or 100,000. The last person, it was a few months back, when they kidnapped him, they asked for $3 million. Of course, who can afford for $3 million? Then they went down to $60,000 for father and son. And they paid and been released, and they immediately get out of Syria just to have a safe haven. So actually, first of all, they will not kill him. They will ask for ransom. If they will pay, that's okay. If not, second choice, he should be a Muslim, become a Muslim. If he will become a Muslim, which till now we didn't hear any family or any person to become a Muslim. I have one witness from a Christian family in Raqqa, which been occupied totally by ISIS. So the father obliged to say the Shahadatain, Islamic, and he converted into Islam in front of their mullah. And at that night, the mullah came to his house, celebrating that you are now one of us. Now we are, and he has 3 daughters. Now tomorrow we are going to come and engage your 3 daughters to our 3 soldiers. And when he heard that, immediately in that night, he paid more than 10,000 maybe dollars. I am not sure about the figure, but very high amount of money to a taxi driver to take him out of Raqqa with his wife and 2 or 3 daughters. So they were saved. This is a reality which we are facing. Either you become a Muslim to stay safe, or you have to find out to pay the jizya, which is very hard for Christians without work to pay with jizya, and almost all of them, they are killed.
In your lecture, you mentioned one case of a woman who got even a DVD with the decapitation of her husband.
Exactly.
And
yes.
Tell us this case, please.
Yeah. Angela, she is a lovely lady. She lost her husband a couple years back she lost her husband and her father-in-law by being captured by the ISIS, and they took both of them into Raqqa. So this lady left back with her 2 sons and 1 daughter. So after 1 year, having lost her contacts with her husband and her father-in-law, all of a sudden they sent a report that sooner you will have your husband back. So she was very happy. And unfortunately, after 1 year being kidnapped and being kept as a hostage, they put it on a DVD video, and in the DVD they are asking the husband and father-in-law, now it is time for you to go back to your house. You want to join your wife. And so they said, of course, it's a lovely way. They said, but with one condition, you have to accept Islam as your religion. They said, of course not. We are Armenians. We can't accept Islam. They said, okay, never mind. We'll send you anyhow to your family. And they slaughtered both of them. And they took all this conversation with this slaughtering in a DVD. And after a few days, they sent the DVD to his family, to his wife, and of course, she couldn't watch the DVD. None of us can watch, so she took it and damaged it. And she bled, and she asked several times, please send the bodies of my husband and my wife, at least to be buried in Aleppo. They said none. And after 3 weeks, when everything was a little bit much comfortable and calm, they phoned her. We would like to take you as a wife to each one of us on alternative days. Of course, after threatening her several times, and nobody knows how they got her all phone numbers, maybe through her husband's mobile or something like that. Of course, she refused. She is a pretty lady, a very beautiful and active lady. So the last conversation with the ISIS leader, they said, if you not be our wives for each one of us at every night, so you will, they didn't use the word raping you. See, that means you have to come willingly to us, and if you not be accepting this, we'll take your sons, we'll torture them and chop their necks, and we'll sell your daughter outside of the country. So she came, she was one of our Widows of War's member. So she came and asked me, Dr. Jany, what should I do? I said, the best thing you have to do it, take a ticket and get out of Syria to Armenia. And praise the Lord, now our society is with her in Armenia. We are helping her, we are standing by her. She came to the Lord. She is now much more comfortable in her life. At least she is safe and secure. You know, nobody will threaten her. And at the same time, she tried to go outside of the country, to Sweden, but nobody accepted her.
We have a refugee crisis in Europe and especially in Germany
Yes.
and Sweden at the moment. And you are Syrian, so you know your people. Who are the refugees arriving here in Germany, arriving here in Central Europe?
Unfortunately, there is no legal way of these refugees to come in. When I was talking to the parliament minister, MP in Germany, his secretary, he told me only officially we received 25,000 refugees officially, but the remaining who are coming now, more than 800,000 refugees being on our lands, they are illegally coming in. Traders, through traders. And unfortunately, most of these illegal people, they are not Christians. And I asked him, how many out of these 800,000 illegal refugees are Christians? He couldn't tell me. In spite, they have the figures, they know the figures, but they know that it is a very tiny number. And Merkel, a few weeks back, she said, according to our statistics, the balance between the Muslim refugees and Christian refugees are very big different. It goes on the favor of Muslims. We have to encourage for Christian refugees. When I asked the MP for the Christian refugees, he didn't answer my question. So it is a matter of a debate in the country itself, in this country especially, in Germany. If you have opened your borders for refugees to come in illegally, that means you are in agreement with these traders who are now gaining millions and millions of dollars. Each refugee cannot reach Germany unless he pays between 3,500 euros or $5,000. That's a big amount. So who is paying this money? The moderate economic people, not simple person who cannot afford for his food. So they are paying this money. So almost all the refugees here, they are socially, economically at the moderate and above. But the poor one, the vulnerable one, the persecuted one, the families who have more than one child or two children and they are persecuted and poverty, they can't afford to come.
Why only so few Christians come?
Because most of the Christians, they don't like to live illegally, because they dislike illegality in their, and they because if you live illegally, you have to go through the Mediterranean Sea and you will be lost. And actually the Christians, they would like to go as a family, sure. Father, mother, and children. And because of the high cost of this, they should go one of them. So if the husband, from my church, unfortunately, 5 families, they came to Germany and Sweden illegally, but unfortunately they came alone. One family we have, husband, wife, and 2 children. They went to Ankara. They stayed for 6 months. They didn't like to join the camps because they will be threatened. They applied for visa, official visa. All the papers are with them, and the German government refused to give them. So they decided to come on an illegal way because they have paid thousands of dollars.
Many Germans are afraid that Islamists or even terrorists might come within the refugee stream. On the other hand, the politicians tell us that these are only decent people escaping from terrorism. What is true?
I think both of them, they are right. You might have a decent people, which I can't argue about that, but I argue that there are no terroristic groups. There are terroristic groups among them. Just for example, just simple example, this group of people who attacked in Paris and died more than 129 innocent people and more than 200 people injured, how they entered? They entered as refugees and been accepted as refugees, but who could detect them? Nobody detected them. So this is the reality.
So what can we do to prevent it?
To prevent, go to the official way. Close your borders, ask for visa. That's it. Even if you have 1 million, you have plenty of embassies all over the world. Let them to apply to the, because